X8, the X8P, and the X16. They range from about $19.99 US to $34.99 US. But the highlights for us are that we've got this new range of interfaces where we've taken the gold standard Apollo and really upgraded the audio performance. So like the number one sort of feature for us is the elite grade conversion. So we've done a lot of work in the analog stages of the A to D and the D to A, and we're achieving the best on the market specs for any converter and integrated audio interface right now. So we have 133 dB of dynamic range and minus 129 dB of CHD plus noise, so just incredibly clean audio performance.
And that stacks up well across many channels then?
Many channels, yeah. So if you're recording like multi-track, you're going to get so much kind of clarity in your recording across, say, a drum kit. Or if you're recording an orchestra, like for example, we have on display here at the show the Air Studio session where we launched Apollo X recording a 54-piece orchestra. It really showcases the quality of sound from the interface range. One of the reasons we managed to achieve that is this thing called dual crystal clocking. So with the dual crystal clocking, we now have two crystals, one that's for 44.1 and one for 48, and all their various integers. So we've actually lowered the jitter on the platform by a huge percentage, and that gives us much better stereo imaging and detail and localization and all the stuff you'd expect. So it's really sort of class leading in that sense.
So that's the conversion. What else is new?
So with Apollo X, we also have 50% more processing power. So if people are familiar, we have the UAD2 processing platform, which is a DSP platform, and you have these chips available on our PCI cards and our DSP satellites, but also in the Apollo and the interface ranges like Arrow, for example, which allow you to record through modeled preamps and compressors and equalizers and do it in real time. And so now we used to have varying DSP amounts per Apollo rack, whereas now we have 6 chips on board, which is the HEXA Core processing, which gives you 50% more. And so now you would make a choice based off the amount of I/O you need, but not the power. The power is the same across all interfaces, if you know what I mean.
And how many plugins does that give you?
Well, it varies depending on the plugins you run,
Sure.
But you're going to be able to see more plugins across more inputs. So if you're recording, say, with an X8P, and you've got 8 mics on a drum kit, you'll be able to put a lot of processing on kick, snare, overheads, etc. You know, things like distressors or Neve preamps or Helios or whatever you're going to track through. You have extra grunt to be able to do that, you know. So
okay.
That's X series. It's Thunderbolt 3. It's worth mentioning it's backwards compatible on Thunderbolt 1 and 2. So you can use it with any of the older Apollos or the Apollo Twin and any of the Mac computers or Windows 10 machines with Thunderbolt. So that's the X, but the big highlight for us is the 9.7.1 update, which brings surround sound, as you mentioned when we were chatting, and also new plugins. So we'll probably chat about surround sound briefly.
Yeah, okay. Very briefly, let's go through it.
So for surround sound, we have 5.1 on X6 and up to 7.1 on X8, X8P and X16. So it's really a nice way of getting surround sound monitor control with all the ganged outputs and everything you'd expect for audio for games and post-production. So we're really into that, you know. And also with that 9.7.1 update, we brought out new plugins. So all of our plugins run on the UAD platform and used by 4 out of 5 Grammy-winning records right now. So we have things like the Lexicon 480L reverb, very dreamy, the official like mix reverb for the last 30 years, and it's the only authorized Lexicon on the market right now, running on UAD. Things like the Soft-Tube vocoder, we've got new boutique guitar amplifiers from Sir, and also things like the Neve preamp, and also the Neve DFC film console for post-production. So we've got a whole suite of plugins, all new interfaces, and loads of other stuff on show. So yeah, thank you.
And where do we find out more?
For more info, please visit uaudio.com.
Thanks very much, Tom.
Thank you, Will.